Okay, hello guys. My name is Kazim Kodri, as you know, and welcome to my rant. Today is gonna be a bit interesting. I know most people expect a part two for what I think about motivation generally. Yeah, and I still apologize again because I've not really had time to record it with Bukola Aladis, who I mentioned in the first episode. But here with me, I have Gabriel Odukoya. He's a long friend of mine, technically like a mentor, because I learn a lot from him than he learns from me generally. So I just stole him for a minute to go over some thoughts as usual. And today's thought is basically about decisions. So how do you know if a decision you have made is right or wrong? Because generally, I always, how will I put it? I always have this feeling whenever I make decisions. I don't know if they're actually right most of the time. I think that's why generally I make wrong decisions sometimes, and sometimes I make awesome decisions. And later on, people ask me, how did you know? And I'm like, I don't really know, because how will I know? I just made the decision as it came. Like 50 Cent, so he said something in his book, also had also smarter. He said, just do it. I don't think he's even the one that said. He said a friend of his said, just do it. So I think that's what has been my guide. I think you can hear Gabriel in the background is whispering right now. But I think that's been my general guide towards things. But we have Gabriel here. So I just listed out, I think, 3 major questions. So as it flows, as the spirit leads, we'll go over generally of them. So I have Gabriel here. Please, Gabriel, introduce yourself.
Hi guys, my name is Gabriel, and it's nice to be here with you. I'm excited to be here, and I'm going to answer the questions to the best of my capacity.
Okay. So first of all, I think I should do a quick introduction to who Gabriel is. So before you okay, why is he on the podcast in the first place? So Gabriel is a student, was a student, sorry. I can't say he's a student. Okay, so he graduated from Covenant University, one of the best in his class, as usual. And we both worked together from, I think, 2017. We have been working together for a long time, and we have volunteered, we have worked on projects together, we have built projects from scratch. And he has always been this, so we all have people in our life that help us to guide what we do, so make right decisions. There was even a time in my life I was actually very proud. Interestingly, people still say me I'm proud, but I don't think I'm proud. I just have to feel myself once in a while, you get. But there was a time he actually pointed out that about me, because I was just getting full of whatever I was doing at that moment. But he mentioned, he was one that shine the light on that part. So that's why I feel he's going to be the right person to answer some of these questions. So the first one I have for him today is the main question. So, what decision have you made in your life that you think is right? Like the one biggest decision you have made in your life that is right?
First of all, I would say this. Well, decisions are a very funny thing. You really do not know whether you're making the right decision or the wrong decision. It boils down to your conviction. And then even at that, when you make the decision, how do you judge if the decision is right or not right? It might take a long time. There are decisions that take years before you realize, okay, this was the right decisions. And there are decisions that take just a very short time. And even at that, it might look like the right decision, even in 5-10 years, and you feel like it's the right decision, and then all of a sudden, after 12 years, it is the wrong decision. So it depends on what you are looking at. For me, I think, I don't want to go through the gospel part, but I have to say, the only decision I know that I'm thinking right is actually serving God. The rest, time will tell if they are the right decisions.
Yeah, definitely, because I think, for me, same here. Someone really asked me recently, because I got into a new place of work. So my name is Kazim Kodri. So the first thing that comes to your mind is a Muslim, definitely. And I think I posted something on my status relating to a scripture verse I read that day. And a colleague of mine at work, the new place of work, just said, "Are you a Christian?" And I was like, "Yes." And she asked me, "Wow," because I always get that response generally, because it's like, "Are you really a Christian?"
So Muslim.
yeah, definitely. So, are you really a Christian? And I'm like, yes. And technically, that has been the best decision of my life. sometimes people will be like, I even at many space of us, there's a Muslim there, and he asked me one day, I was like, why did you choose to be a Christian? And I'm like, because I chose to be a Christian. No, sincerely, I fell in love with Christ. That's just the truth. I grew up growing up. Okay, the interesting thing is growing up. I at some point in my life I was going to the mosque and I was going to the church. And if you have ever done both at the same time, there will be this, I think, fight in your head that, okay, what should you do? Like, should you be a Christian? Should you be a Muslim? You have to start weighing the pros and cons, which is more interesting. Where do you have more friends? And sincerely, it's the truth. I don't think no one actually preached to me that Kazim, sorry about that. Kazim, be a Christian or Kazim, be a Muslim. Yeah, I had friends that were like, okay, let's go to mosque. And I had friends that still said, let's go to church. In fact, I had family that wanted me to go to church. And I still have family till date that still wants me to go to the mosque. And I have never regretted being a Christian, because being a Christian really made me who I am today. The guy that understands a bit about computers, the guy that knows how to speak to people, the guy that has phone whenever he takes pictures, has a lot of fun whenever he talks to other people, interestingly. I found all this being a Christian, not being on the street, let me just put it that way. Because I don't think anything would have turned out the way they have. I think I've already diving too much about myself. Okay, so next question for Gabriel, which is, how do you know you have made the right friend, like making the right decision about a friend? Because generally, this is one thing most people suffer with. Because I think speakers or general people, elders, will tell you, make the right friends, choose your friends. How do you even know you are choosing the right friend in the first place? Because it's very complicated. That's just the truth.
Yeah. Things like this are actually very complicated. Choosing the right friends. Well, I use this rule. I think my dad told me about it. Number one, understand that you don't need too much friends. Once you understand that you don't need too much friends, then it is easier to streamline who you call friends. Then the next thing I do when I've actually streamlined people that are in my life is to actually determine those that are interested in my growth. In the long run, you will know why. It's don't be too quick to use the term friendship. Use the term acquaintance. Use the term colleague. Use those terms. There's nothing wrong in using those terms. But with time, it's not like your acquaintance cannot become your friend or your colleague cannot be your friend. But with time, you would actually know who is interested in your growth and who is also interested in you having fun and all those things. It's not like, oh, I want to make it just one way. You have to be interested in my growth. No. Things are different like that. But then I look at it this way. You're interested in my growth. You're interested in me having fun. You're just interested in everything about me. So that is how I determine who my friend is. And I also feel that way towards you. It doesn't have to be female. It doesn't have to be male. Any gender comes and then.
So it's not a parasitic relationship.
No, it cannot be a parasitic relationship. It has to be a mutually beneficial relationship. Yeah. We must both be interested in each other. So that is how I determine who my friends are.
Okay, another interesting one I just over time I've always had friends that acquaintances. Let me be correct in terms right now. So I've had acquaintances that at first we both didn't have. Sincerely, I didn't have the intention of should I say being not even just making them friends, being beneficial to them in the first place, and then being beneficial to me. Like after a long time, we actually discovered this about ourselves. Most of my friends of now, because there's a friend of mine, Shwomi. I would definitely kill you for mentioning his name right now. Well, at first, the way I became friends with Shwomi was very interesting. So when I was in secondary school, Shwomi was the smartest guy in my class. He's still the smartest guy, one of the smartest guys I know. I have a lot of smart friends, and I was attracted to that. Generally, and I was like, okay, so we had Shwomi, we had Fabio, we had Gospel, Damola, and I wanted to be friends with these guys because I wanted to also be smart. Because generally, I wasn't the best guy that graduated secondary school. I was not even the top 10 in my class. But at first, I just wanted to be their friend. I didn't have anything to offer, and I saw what they could offer me. But how did it turn out to be a right decision? Because my first intention was just be their friend. Maybe something will come out after that. Because generally, that's what I just have in my mind. What do you think, Gabriel?
Yeah, well, you can be intentional about choosing friends. Like you said, you were intentional about it. you knew, okay, these guys had things to offer you. They were smart, and then you wanted to be seen in that light
Yeah.
as well. So basically, you knew what you wanted and you went for it. And then you were fortunate that they also saw something in you. You might not have recognized it, but
Yeah,
they
definitely.
obviously saw something in you and related to it. That was how the friendship is built. And there's no need to rush friendship, actually. Friendship is built over time. It's not like love at first sight. Exactly. So you don't meet someone today and then know that, oh, you're my friend. It is built over time. Like, you relate with people. Like, that's why I mentioned acquaintances. It is normal to have acquaintances. Don't mistake me. Have people you talk to, have people you see, meet up with acquaintances too. You never can tell. The relationship will develop into friendship, and before you know it, there are friendship that have become blood, family, and stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
Exactly.
I like you.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So basically, so friendship is actually a long term thing. So just meet people, recognize what this person offers you, develop start developing a kind of bond with them. Talk to them. You can even reach out to people. It's not a bad thing. There are times that you just open your phone, you see people on social media, and you think, oh, you like their vibe, and you reach out to them. Before you know it, friendship is formed.
Yeah.
But just be careful too much to not be while you're looking for someone who will be beneficial to you, to not now become parasitic to that person. So make sure you are balancing it. You also have something to offer. That is when friendship lasts. But when it is just you benefiting or the other person benefiting, then it becomes something else in the future.
You mentioned something about love at first sight, and this has always been I don't know. That's something. It has been something in my head that I don't think it's true personally. Why? Because you don't. The reason why my definition for love, and I think I got this from a service at church during Valentine. My pastor Dami Oguntunde, sorry, he said, in summary, love is a decision with sacrifice, basically. So I decide to love you, and I'm ready to sacrifice for you, right? So I think when you see someone the first time, you don't decide to love the person. I don't even think it's possible. In as much as also as Christians, the number one commandment Jesus gave us, or simplified for us, is to love generally, because it's like, okay, love God and love your neighbor as yourself. But I don't think it's hard, because it's
I think we oversimplify what love is. Most of the time when we think about it, people think of love as an emotional feeling, but love is actually beyond an emotional feeling. So the love at first sight statement is actually relating it to an emotional feeling. But then love itself is more than just an emotional feeling. It includes commitment, it includes dedication, it includes sacrifices. You can't decide you want to sacrifice for someone on just meeting the person on the first time. It's actually not true. So when they say love at first sight, they're just talking about the emotional feeling,
like infatuation.
Like infatuation,
yeah,
basically. So love at first sight is just, to me, I feel that is not true. What if you love the person at first sight and then the person doesn't even relate to you, and you never get to meet the person?
So just like at first sight. So like the person.
Basically, exactly. Well, movies make it seem like it is real anyway. But I don't know. I don't know if you have other. You can share, but I really don't know if love at first sight works like that, unless you're seeing constantly, which is no longer first sight anymore.
Okay.
Well, that's my own opinion.
Okay, so should I say the final one? I don't even think it's the final one, but it's one I think we should definitely ask, because basically I said something in the beginning. You have always helped me to make right decisions. So how do you help someone make the right decision? Because there are sometimes you have friends, then generally, and they are making the wrong decision, and they're like, okay, how do I help this person? Because sometimes this thing, it gets me, should I say, pissed off about people. I know you're making. I see this decision is very wrong, and I'm telling you, guy, this decision is wrong. But you're like, no, blah blah blah. You're giving me all the ways that is right. Sometimes I know I might actually be wrong. Sometimes I even prefer I'm wrong in situations like that. But I am not wrong about this thing. How do you help someone make the right decision?
Well, you remember that I said in the first question that the right decision is actually relative. So you never can tell which is the right decision. Time is what can tell what decision is right or wrong. But the truth is that there are times that you see friends and families taking some steps that you feel they should not take. I think in that position, when you're in that position, the thing I do for me is to help them weigh the plus side and the negative sides of that decision. I make them see it. I don't tell them. I don't come out right to them and tell them, no, you are making the wrong decision, or you're making the right decision. I don't approach it like that, because if I do that, then number one, you get this look. Who the fuck do you think you are? So basically,
Sorry about the effort.
sorry about the effort, but basically, you don't want to come off saying like, I know it all, because people naturally hate that kind of person.
Yeah,
so you have to be able to present your point in a way where their decision seems valid, but then you're helping them realize that as much as this your decision is valid, are you sure this is what you want to take? Because if you take this decision, you might end up regretting it in this way and this way. Are you sure you're ready to have this kind of consequences on you? So basically, that is what I do with my friends. I just, when they make decision, I laugh around the decision. I tell you that, oh yeah, and I'll do it. But then I'll now, after like 15 minutes of telling you to do it, and I'm like, but guy, have you seen this thing? Do you know that this one will happen? You're like, it's true. And then you don't make it seem so serious when you're talking about it. Because at the end of the day, it is their decision to take. It is not yours. So you need to understand, you need to respect that space that, okay, it is not my decision. It is his or her decision, and then you are supposed to take your decision by yourself. But I'm going to point your eyes to see the things that you're so blind to see when you're about to make that decision. So by the time that you have the consequences known to you, it will help inform you of your decision, and then you understand to take more better decision. But last, I know if you judge you if you take the wrong decision, it is still your decision, and I'll still support you when I can.
Okay, so about that, you mentioned something about helping them to see the pros and cons of the decision. What if there's no con in the decision? So, like, you're making a decision, it's both right. If you make it this way or you make it my way, it's right. But what if that decision you're not making, it's the wrong of the right, should I say? You get, so you can make a better one, if I should say. Like, I think that's the correct term. So you can make a better one, because there was a time I was reading a book and they said a third alternative. So it's like when two people are actually fighting, they both see themselves as very right. I don't even know how to say it. It's someone like has been brainwashed and someone that has not been brainwashed. You have both, your realities are both true. Mm-hmm. How do you make the person see that other reality that, okay, your reality is true though? How do you see this one?
So basically, what I do in this type of situation is actually to take a step back. I actually take a while, hold on, and for instance, I had a personal situation, like a family of mine, a very close family, actually wanted to take a decision. Both decisions are right. Both decisions, nothing is wrong with both decisions. But then at that point in time, you know that it is too quick to take the decision. I just tell you to take a step back, relax, calm down, understand it. You might take a week off you don't have to take that decision immediately, because decisions that are similar to the scenario just painted now, that is, both are right. They really do not need immediate conclusion over a matter. Yeah. Over time, they actually, you can actually take your time before making such decisions. So what I'd say in most cases is actually take your time. Don't be too quick to it. Think about it or sleep on it. Pray about it, especially. Pray about it. If you are the very, very close person with God, that has a close relationship with your God, then I'll tell you to actually take it to your God. Muslim or Christian, just pray about it. Sit down and pray about it. Talk to mentors. They help out. I don't see myself as the only person that can guide you through. I actually tell my friends and my family that, okay, make sure I'm not the only one you're talking to. So you don't
get one perspective over
get only one perspective. Speak to other persons. Learn to trust other people. There are ways that you can talk to people about decisions that you're making, even when you don't feel like telling them the full details. Exactly. You can paint it in a very different scenario, and you still get what you need from them. So you might not be thinking, okay, I don't want to tell this person about it, but you can actually streamline what you're saying to that person and make it seem like you're saying the full thing where you're not saying the full thing, and the person still gives you their own opinion, and you're able to judge about it. So take your time, talk to more people about it in that kind of situation where both decisions seem like the right decision to take.
Yeah. Okay. So you said something about telling them in such a way that they don't get the full picture. Sorry, they don't get the direct understanding, but you get the full picture of the whole thing. Because sometimes, please try as much as possible to give full details, because people might give you a conclusion based on the little details you have actually.
Yes, people actually do that. That is why I said you can paint a scenario. Paint a scenario, make sure you see the important factors there. But then you can actually paint it as a scenario. You don't have to say, okay, this is what I want to do, or this is what is going on in my life right now. There are ways to even take decisions now. People are using Twitter, talking to people on Twitter, talking to people
polls,
on Instagram,
creating polls and asking
anonymous questions.
Definitely.
So basically, there are so many ways you can actually look for other people's opinions.
Or do like I do, go on Quora or Stack Overflow.
Exactly. Ask questions,
Someone will definitely have something.
Someone will have something to say. Basically, that is what I'm saying. When I say test other waters, talk to other people, just hear what they think. Make sure you are open-minded to other people. Don't be too
rigid.
Rigid.
Yeah.
Make sure you are open-minded to other people's thoughts as well. You're not an island of knowledge.
Definitely, no one is. Yeah, thank you very much, Gabriel. Please, some people want to reach you on social media, so give us your username on various social media handles.
Okay, on Facebook, Odukoya Gabriel, just my name. On Twitter at GABSCOOP, that's at Gapscoop. On Instagram, they didn't give me the second O, so it's just GABSCOOP at Gapscoop. Okay. And LinkedIn, search for Odukoya Gabriel. I think we're not much using that name. So basically, that's how you can reach me on social media.
Okay, thank you very much, Gabriel.
It's a pleasure being here.
Nice day. Thank you for listening to my rant, everyone. Don't forget, if you're listening to this on Anchor, please drop a clap, and also you can drop a voice message. And any other social media platform, you can reach me. Kazim Kodri01 is my name. Thank you very much, and have a nice day. On every social media platform. Thank you very much.
All right, bye guys.